Hello everyone, this is Peggy. I'm back for another video, and in this video I'm going to talk about the handout, the levels of content integration. But first I'm going to start on the second page of the handout here, and this is of an image of Bloom's taxonomy, or the revised version of Bloom's taxonomy. This is basically an image representing the different levels of knowledge or different levels of learning and how we use what we've learned. And this will be really helpful to understand the levels of content integration page that's just before this. So you'll notice here that it kind of looks like a pyramid, and it's almost representative of like the food pyramid if you're familiar with that. But what's important to know here is that in order to reach some of these higher levels of creation or evaluation, you have to have a base in these other levels here. So they're all interconnected in that way. You have to have some foundation of knowledge in order to reach the level of analysis, evaluation, or creation. So let's keep that in mind while we look at our handout up here of the levels of content integration. So you'll notice here that to help you understand these levels, we've connected them to the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So here at this first level of Bloom's taxonomy, the knowledge level, we reach the level of contributions in the levels of content integration. So a way you can understand this here is by this phrase here, heroes and holidays. So this is a kind of example where either on a particular person's birthday, like Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday or shortly thereafter, or on a particular holiday like Thanksgiving, or a non-Christian holiday like Yom Kippur or something like that, the classroom takes a step away or a break from their quote-unquote normal curriculum to focus on either these particular people or this particular holiday in order to kind of see the culture and discuss the culture, or see different types of people than we would in the class already. So what's important to remember here is that we're kind of breaking away from what's the typical schedule for the class, and we're kind of inserting in a particular lesson plan, so something that's really abbreviated in order to kind of discuss these contributions. So this is starting to reach this level of knowledge in Bloom's taxonomy. In this second level of knowledge and understanding, we reach the level of additive in content integration. So here we're going beyond a single unit to the single lesson plan to an entire unit or a book or even a class that focuses on culture. And then in this example, in this level, culture is used as a medium to address other subject matter concepts. So this is very much like you're really using the culture as a way to understand something else. You're not really talking about the culture, or you're not really connecting it to the subject matter, but you're just using it as a way to understand the concepts. In, say, like a math course or in a science course, you're just kind of drawing analogies or something like that. In the third level of content integration, you can see that we've started to reach several different levels of Bloom's taxonomy, all the way up to evaluation. In this level of content integration, it's the transformation approach. So this is where, rather than using culture as a medium or using it as a way to talk about things, or having that problem that happens to have names that look Hispanic or names that look African American. Here you're actually starting to ask questions and talk about why is it that they're being represented and why is race or different cultures important to talk about in the class. So here we're actually using these different perspectives and we're discussing them. So this could be from showing a movie or having a book and really talking about the different issues that are there. And this isn't necessarily only for race-based identities. This could also be talking about different sexualities, different nationalities, different social classes, or other forms of identity. But the point here is that those become the topic of the class. They're not just kind of referenced in order to talk about something else. They're also part of the main discussion. Then this final level here of content integration corresponds to all of the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And this is the level of social action. This is the level of application. Students are really creating things and analyzing, evaluating, and applying what they've learned about different cultures, about different people to what they're doing in the world. So this could be through service learning projects. This could be through learning how to interact with people differently and perhaps showing a play or writing a play and showing that to the community on different ways to resolve conflict non-violently or things like that. So they're really taking that knowledge that they have about different cultures or about the world and also the content matter and bringing those together to address these issues of race and social inequities. So that is the handout on the levels of content integration. Hopefully you can see here that it's important that we have all of these levels. None of these are more important, and some of these levels we will feel more comfortable with achieving in our classes than others. But again, it's important to know that we need each of these levels in order to really get to the definition of content integration.